Welcome once again to Smart Agro Innovation, your channel that gives simple and smart ideas in the field of agriculture. Today, we are going to talk about pig farming. Indeed, you know that whichever thing that we teach, we try to do it practically for our able subscribers and viewers to understand what we are doing. Today we are going to give a general overview of pig farming, another lucrative business, another lucrative agribusiness entity that has short returns. And Smart Agro, we are embarking on pig farming. Therefore, it is going to be stratified in series or in episodes. Today's episode is episode 1, that is introduction to pig farming. The successive episode will follow, and we shall take you to the field in the episode 2. But today, we are going to give a general overview of pig farming. From there, we have started. So we want you to see right from the beginning to the end where our pigs will reach marketing stage. So today, if you want to go into pig farming, as a farmer, it is one of the most paramount lucrative businesses in the field of agriculture, and a lot have made a lot from pig farming. Pig farming simply means the rearing of pigs for their meat or any other purpose. But basically, you rear your pig, you sell them out. You know, what we get from pig is basically pork, sausages, and all those things. So as a farmer, if you have it, you can, keep your pigs, sell it out for cash. Now, before you go into pig farming, there are certain things that you must take into consideration. I always say, you need to sit back, do your checks before you go into it. First of all, the location of your farm. At least it should be close to market centers or the locality where you are going to set up. You must have the market. Example, some people prefer to keep their pigs once they get the exact number that they want. Maybe the main aim is to produce the pigs and sell them in large quantities. That one, the location doesn't matter. You can keep them once you get your number, maybe 100 of them, 200 of them. You can just transport them to the city with good market prices. After taking the location into consideration, all you need to also know is the structure, construction. As a beginner, I will always advise, if as a beginner you do not have to put much in the structure construction, that is the pig style, the structure in which the pig lives is called a style, a pig style. Now, you may construct a concrete structure. It's good, it's permanent, but as a beginner, you can start with wood. We have done similar structure, and as we move along, I'll show you how we constructed it. You can use the normal woods whilst you cement the floor, or you can even use some of the wood for your floor as a beginner, so that you don't put much capital in the structure, because that one is a fixed cost. I'm saying this because many people will put much in the structure construction, and after that, even getting the foundation stock, medication, feeding, and all those things will be a problem. And then they get stuck. When that happens, they will say, oh, agribusiness is bad, pig farming is not good. No. As a beginner, our advice, you get your wooden structure for the meantime. As you are progressing, then you expand to a permanent cement structure, which will take good care of your pigs. You can still have your wooden structure. Once you employ good management practices, you are good to go. So one may ask, how many pigs can I start with? As a beginner, our advice, let's say the maximum should be either 5 or 10 females. That is sows. The female is called sows, and the male is called boys, whilst the younger ones are called piglets. One may also ask whether it is advisable to use the matured ones for a starter. Well, I will also advise again, if you use the matured one, purchasing it will be quite expensive. Also, the matured one might have had series of parities. If I say parities, the later side, maybe it has given birth for the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time. You may not know, and the person selling them to you may not tell you the truth. Yes, you have to face the fact. Therefore, for me, I will not buy the big one, the old one. No, I'll go in for the very young piglet, whilst I nurture it, because it is quite, when it comes to the cost, it's a bit low. So at least you can buy some at a very low cost whilst you feed it, so that it reaches maturity stage. Once it reaches or gets into the heating period, that is the heat, where it can be able to be crossed, then it gets pregnant, spend about 4 months, then you get your piglets. So in a nutshell, I would not advise you to go for the bigger one. Start with the average size, let's say the 4-month-old type. Then you feed it. Factors taken into consideration if you want to set up a pig farm. When you want to go for the foundation stock, you must know the history of the parents of the foundation stock. Are they hardy? Are they resistant to pests and diseases? You must have all those information concerning these animals. One may ask that if you want to go into piggery or pig farming, how many, or let's say the ratio of male to female. The ratio of male to female pig is 1:6. One male pig or a boa can service 6 female. Yeah. So as a starter, as a beginner, it is not appropriate to go in for a lot of the males. No, you must have about, let's say, 6 females, then you have just 1 male to service them, so that at least the females will help you to get the number that you want. Because if you have, let's say, 6 females, and for the first parity or from the first birth, each one gives you, let's say, even 6. So 6 multiplied by 6 means that you're going to have about 36 piglets. When you feed them very well, you treat them very well, and let's say, so it is very simple for them to multiply a number. That is why I say, if you want to go into it as a beginner, please don't buy a lot of the males. Get the female sets, and 1 male is to 6 females. So that's the basic information that I can give you for now. One may ask also, there's another question that, okay, what is the maturity stage of a pig? Now, if you look at maturity stage right from birth, once it reaches 24 to 26 weeks, which is about 5-6 say 7 months old. Once it reaches 6, 7, 8 months, at least they have reached market age. You can market them. Yeah. So at that stage where it reaches, let's say 6 months old, which is about 24 to 26 weeks, at that time it has an average weight of 60 to 90 kg. That is 60 to 90 kilograms. We know if you go into meat science, we have carcass weights and live weights. So if you want to sell your pig, don't just go call your customer or just come and stand, watch the pig and say, oh, it is big in size, so I'm pricing it. No, it goes with the weight. The sale of meat or the sale of pork, you must take the weight into consideration. So in Ghana last year, it was around, the live weight was around 18 cedis per live weight, the live animal. So 18 cedis per 1 kg. So as a farmer, once your pig is ready, you just get your scale, you put it on the scale, you weigh it. Once it reaches maturity and under good management, a pig that has reached 24 to 26 weeks old, which is ready for marketing, should have an average weight of about 60 to 90 kg. So let's say if one live weight is 18 cedis times the weight, then you get your money. Or let's say it's $1 or $1.5 or let's say $2. It varies in locations and countries. So let's say if you have if one live weight is let's say $2 per kg, you just put the pig on the scale. If you get 60, you multiply it by your $2, then you get your 12. In the case of Ghana, if you have, let's say a live weight is 20 cedis, once you put it on the scale and you get your 60 or 90 kg, you just multiply it with 20 cedis, then you are good to go. So the average price of 24 to 26 weeks old pig will be 60 to 90, and if you multiply it by 20, it means that you are going to get about 1,200 to 1,800 Ghana cedis, depending on the weight of the pig. So if you want a proper pricing, you need to feed your pig very well to reach a specific size and weight that can give you higher kgs that can also increase your profit margin. On this note, that is the basic information that I want to give you. One will also ask what is the gestation period of, let's say, pig once it gets pregnant. What is the duration? It is 4 months, basically 4 months, or let's say 114 to 120 days. That is the gestation period. So let's say basically on the average 4 months. So if you have 4 months, it means that in a year you can get about, let's say, 3 parities, 3 for 12. So basically, since once it gives birth, it must also get some time to feed, to grow very well. Let's say on the average, at least you can have 2 parities in a year at least, and there you go. So if you have 1 sow and you are able to cross it, it gives you, the number also ranges between 5 to even 14. If you have a good breed like the large white that has large litter size, you can get higher numbers. So if just one has given you, let's say, about 10 to 14 piglets, the second parity gives you the same number. It means that you are going to move. Pig farming or piggery is a type which has faster growing rate. Once you start a business, your business can grow very fast if you manage them nicely with good practices and feeding. I'm hammering on feeding because if you look at the feeding of pigs, if you take them in there without feeding them, I tell you, you definitely run at a loss. So if you want to go into pig production, the feeding alone would take about 60% of the total cost. Yes, you have to buy feed. Sometimes you can use household leftovers, but it is not advisable to be using them all the time. Like our cassava peels, pawpaw, they are good for they are best dewormers for pigs. You see, one of the major endoparasites that affect pigs are these roundworms and tapeworms. Once they are infested, in fact, it really reduces their growth rate, and that affects your market pricing and then the weight of the pig. Therefore, it is appropriate to consider the feeding. And then when it comes to medication, yes, pigs are animals that also need medication. There are some ectoparasites which also worry the pigs so much. That is the life of ticks, fleas, and any other ectoparasite you can think of. So you must clean their pen, or you must clean their structure all the time, and then make sure that there is no contamination that can lead to the pure destruction of the welfare of the animal. So you must have a good medication, proper feeding, and you are good to go. So basically, pig farming is a lucrative business. We are going to start it so soon, and Smart Agro, we shall give you all the information. Now our next video will be taken at our pig farm, a very small structure, but as we move along, you will get to understand and get much information about pig farming. One may also ask, what are some of the breeds that are good for a starter? For me, I can tell you that the best breed as a starter that can give you large litter size is large white breed. The large white breed is known to be it has a very long, the height is quite longer, and I tell you, it has large litter size. It can give birth to as many as 15, 16. Yes, I've seen some before. So the large white, I recommend the large white to you if you want to start pig farming. One may also practice a system where he goes to buy the piglets, feed them, and sell them off without necessarily breeding them. That one, you can go in for other breeds like the Duroc. Duroc it is very thick when it comes to meat and very low fat. Yeah, so the Duroc is also there. There is another variety called Landrace. I'll show you everything after this conversation. You will see them in your screens. You see them in the video, pictures of the various varieties. We have the Landrace, the Duroc, the large white. We have the Tamworth. We have the Yorkshire, and then Berkshire is also there. A lot more varieties originating from Ireland, England, Poland, a lot of these varieties. But I recommend large white variety for you as a starter who wants to breed your pigs to get more numbers within the shortest possible time. Thank you for it. Yeah, Smart Agro, this is our pig site. This is where the site for our pig farming. I tell you now, we have moved from crop to animal. We are enlarging our production and our research work. Now we start. We are going to research into a lot of stuff when it comes to pig farming. This is our small pig structure. This is a pig style. I told you, because we are starting, that's why we have a simple structure made of wood. Yes, we have done some maintenance works on it, and very soon we are going to welcome our foundation stocks here. You can see that this is a simple structure, and if you look at the floor, it's a cemented floor. Yeah, and we are good to go. We are starting with this structure, and as we are progressing, then we move on to a permanent structure made of concrete, devoid of woods. Smart Agro, our subscribers and viewers, you are always with us. Right from plantains, you are always with us. Now, with our pig farm, we are starting with you. If you look through, you can see that there is no pig here. Yes, there is no pig here. Very soon, we are going to welcome them. But we want you to be with us right from the beginning to measure our progress, whether we are progressing or retrogressing. This is our pig style. Very simple one. This is also another compartment. Yeah, very simple. Very soon we are going to welcome our pigs. Yeah. This is also another compartment. Very simple structure, and I tell you, we'll do a lot over here. I tell you, just check the date we are starting. We are starting with you, and I tell you, we are going to do many research. This is just an overview. We shall give you the details step by step, how to even administer your own injections, formulate your own feeds, control of disease, everything. We are going to take you through, and this is just the beginning of our pig farming journey. So I've just given you the general overview of the whole thing. The general overview of the whole thing. Our structure may look a bit weak, but I tell you, we do a lot. Once we are progressing, this whole site here is going to be used for our pig farm. You can see this is a nice site, special site. We'll be here for some years, and I tell you, we shall fence the whole place and practice the semi-intensive. We'll create our own wallow. If I say wallow, a small pond containing water where the pigs will be, doing their own exercise and washing their bodies here and there. So I tell you, it will be marvelous. This is just the beginning of our pig farm journey. This is Smart Agro Innovation, your channel that gives smart but simple ideas in the field of agriculture. We are using this channel to promote youth in agriculture. I tell you, this is just a simple structure. As a youth, you can start with something like this. We are in February. By December, you will see our end results this year. So I urge the youth to try something. It is better to try something than to sit idle doing nothing. Instead of you investing in expensive, putting much money in expensive funds, expensive clothing, expensive shoes, as a young man, you can start simple thing like this that wouldn't cost you much. And I tell you, your life will never be the same. This is Smart Agro Innovation. My name is Anthony Bedu, the main brain behind Smart Agro Innovation. Smart Agro, we did for you.